Hi everybody, I'm Rachael Enaney, originally from York, England, and I'm currently living in Orlando. So it's great to be here with you. People have asked me how line dance came about for me, and the truth is I was 14 years old and my mum took me to a class. Kicking and screaming, I did not want to go. She'd been going for about a year, and she used to come home and dance in the kitchen and show me the electric slide and the tush push, and it was kind of one of those, no, don't do it moments. And I used to go to a drama class, and that night my dad couldn't pick me up because he had to work, and so my mum said, okay, I'll pick you up, but I can't miss my line dance class. So I went along, much to my disgust, and sat there and watched and thought, oh, this is okay. And it was actually, if I tell you the truth, there was an extremely cute instructor, and I was 14 years old and he was 22, and he was the instructor, and I kind of went, oh, this is interesting. And I watched, and I sat there kind of crossed-armed like I'm not doing this after taking the mickey out of my mother for a year, and then thought, you know what, I can do this. And I got up and I learnt the electric slide, and we did it to Life's a Dance. So that was my first introduction, and I went back every single week after that. And a year later, an opening came up at a club in Huntington, at the Working Men's Club, and I was approached, and a year later at 15 I started teaching. I never looked back. What do I do in my spare time? And my immediate answer was, what spare time? Really, I dance in my spare time. If I was home, then I would probably try and find a local class, either West Coast Swing or a salsa class, or I usually try and do something other than line dance if that's something that I do all the time. But yeah, a salsa class or a Zumba class, and join in on that. Outside of that, I really enjoy food. I guess people always joke that that's why I go to France so much, for the food. And I enjoy good friends and spending time with my family. That's what I do in my spare time. Is it still attractive today as it was then? Like I said, I was 14 when I started, and I guess as a 14-year-old, part of the image was the fact that my mum kept saying it was all country music, which at 14 I hadn't been exposed to. It was very much, I was kind of into the Jamiroquai scene and then house music at that age, and whatever my friends did, I felt like I had to follow. So back then, when I first started, it wasn't super attractive to me, and then once I started, and you get introduced to different music, which through line dance I've been introduced to so many different kinds of music, from Latin to pop to country, and my parents went to a Garth Brooks concert and brought back CDs, and from then on country music became a big part of my life. And then obviously line dance developed so much over the years. So is it attractive now as it was then? Is absolutely yes. If anything, more for me, because the music added more and brought more to the dance. So there was more technique, and just the way evolution has worked, we've brought in so many different dance styles, which for me, being diverse in my dancing with tap and ballet and Latin and ballroom, I love the fact that all these different forms, and I'm still learning, which to other people in the dance industry, if you say you're a line dancer, they don't quite understand that concept. And you try and explain to them, well, it's a solo form of dance. We do waltz, and we do street dance, and we do funky, and we do cha-cha, and we do Irish, and all these different styles within the one dance form. So yeah, I think it's incredible what we've achieved in line dance. Super hard question. Milestone in my career has to be, I guess, the most recent thing, being inducted into the Hall of Fame at this year's Crystal Boot Awards. Just an incredible thing to happen to me, something I was completely unexpected. And it's hard to try and put into words, again, going back to the fact I was 15 when I started teaching. I was 15, I remember going and seeing Rob Fowler for the first time, and Chrissy Hodgson for the first time, and Max Perry, and all these incredible choreographers that were there right from the very beginning, and watching them teach and learn their dances and wanting to be like them. And this was before we even knew it existed in other countries, or before I even knew it existed in other countries. And my idols, Joe Thompson, and just the incredible Max Perry, who's an encyclopedia of dance, and Scott Blevins, who has taught me so much over the years. He was God Blevins to me when I was 17 years old. He scared me to death. I was terrified of him. I couldn't look at him without shaking like a leaf. And now he's one of my closest friends in the world. And all of the musicians and Dave Sheriff, I remember following Dave Sheriff and Scooter Lee at so many concerts and wanting to dance on the front row so they could see me, and to be amongst those people and people I respect. Peter Metallic, I just think, is a genius when it comes to choreography. Let Her Rip was just, at the time, so advanced and just an incredible piece of movement, and I've learnt so much from each and every one of them, every single person, and to be put there at the same time as one of my idols, Pedro. I just tried to describe that today on Facebook, and there's so much you want to say and you just can't put it into words. Pedro I watched dance when I think I was about 16 for the very first time, and he was just in a league of his own. I mean, he just opened it up for everybody, and I think any young dancer that was around at that time will say the same thing. From, Shane McKeever, who's now, I guess, late teens. He was 6 years old at the time, and just everybody wanted to be like Pedro. And so to be in there at the same time as one of my idols and, again, one of my best friends, just an incredible, incredible thing for me. So really, really amazing. Thank you.